Hello everybody, my name is Zaprano. I recently started a project with a very specific goal in mind: make a universal dye farm. I aim to create and document a single farm for every major dye in the game and combine them all together, starting with a compact tall flower farm. I originally created this design, which is very compact and efficient, but the problem is you have no way to selectively choose a single dye to create. So if you only want red, you are still wasting bone meal on every other flower. To fix this issue, I implemented a selector, which lets you select the specific dyes you want to create. So let's say we want red and magenta. We can click this lever, and as you can see, only these two get produced. So we can select yellow, remove magenta, add pink. You get the idea. You can do whatever combination you want, even all at a time. The output of this farm is located on the side, and it can be extended as long as you want, but just for demonstration, I put it right over there. The bone meal input is located over here at the back, and you can fill it up as much as you want. What's also great about this farm is that if you are extremely picky about your dyes, so let's say you want exactly half red and half pink, let's deselect these ones, and you got your bone meal from killing skeletons, for example, so you don't have a lot. Let's say you have 20. It's going to evenly distribute them between those two. So if I activate this machine and come over here, as you can see, we got 10 of each. So you do not have to fear one side getting more bone meal from the other. If you do not want to manually fill it up, you could always put a double chest with it inside. Also, because this is a hopper minecart, you can also use a water glide to automatically pick up the items. This way, you can link your bone meal farm directly to this one. Alright, so how does the selector work? As you can see, these are node blocks that activate observers, which are directly linked up to them. And so this observer observes the node block, this one observes this one observes this one, and activates the copper bulb. Now, this observer not only serves as a block detector for this one, it also sends a signal into this red wool. And this red wool activates these rails. If you watch a lot of technical Minecraft videos, like my favorite artillery engineer, you are probably familiar with the use of power rails. But if you don't happen to use a dolphin in your storage systems, now why use rails instead of redstone dust? I always encourage using rails if you can, just because of the simple fact that it's less laggy than redstone dust. You will probably not see a difference on small scale like this, but combined with other farms in the long run, it can really impact your performance. But other than lag issues, these rails are the perfect components to run parallel lines next to each other without interacting with one another. If it wasn't for these rails, the only way to probably do this would be to use a repeater line, but this would add delay and it would be annoying. Now, what happens after? These rails are connected to observers, which send a signal to other copper bulbs. You should notice that these copper bulbs are inverted, and that's because this is just a representation of the dye being on. But in reality, if this copper bulb is on, the comparator detects it and locks the hopper. So what that means is when the hopper minecart is moving, it is not going to distribute dye to the hopper. So technically, these dispensers are still dispensing, but there's nothing in them, so they're not producing any of the undesirable dyes and are not wasting bone meal on them. The last part is the activation switch. So this lever over here uses this piston to put this observer in position, making an observer clock. And It powers this block, which powers this redstone line connected to these target blocks, which powers these droppers down here and these dispensers up here. And so it's two actions at once. These dispensers place the bone meal, and then the flowers get produced. The yellow is currently being produced because I put some bone meal in this dispenser just to test it out, but there's no other bone meal in the machine. But anyways, so the flowers are on farmland, which is slightly shorter than a regular block. We can see this comparison very clearly over here. And the reason why it doesn't expire is because of these leaf blocks, which contain our water. And so because they are slightly shorter than regular blocks, hoppers can suck in the items right through them. And they directly link up to these droppers, which drops our item in this water and collects them over here. These are generally all grasped concepts, maybe not the rails, but the challenging thing about building this farm was making it so compact, because spaghetti redstone really triggers me, so I try and always make my machines as compact as possible. I'm going to leave the world download and the schematic in the description, but that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.